Are you an entrepreneur struggling to hire your first team member or add to your small team? After hiring more than 50 roles for clients and hiring many times for myself, I've identified 8 catastrophic mistakes that cost entrepreneurs thousands, limit revenue, and keep them from taking time off. Avoiding these enabled me to bring in rock stars for many clients. These new hires created new revenue streams, alleviated stress, and gave the founders peace of mind so they could finally take time off. In this video, I'm going to show you what these mistakes are and walk through exactly how to fix them so you can avoid them too. Mistake number one, rushing the process. I've talked to dozens of founders who've tried and failed to hire, some more than once. One told me they hired 5 different assistants on Upwork and none of them worked out. In almost every case, the same issue shows up. They rushed it. Hiring isn't something you can knock out in a few hours. If you want someone great, you need to slow down and treat it like the high leverage investment it is. That means carving out real time for each part of the process. If you're managing hiring on top of other responsibilities, aim for 4 to 6 weeks. If you want to move faster, take a look at the link in the description box. Mistake number two, skipping clarity on what you really need. One founder came to me frustrated that they were constantly having to fix their team's work and couldn't figure out why. When I asked how they had made their hires, they said, well, they reached out to me and we needed them, so I hired them. If you haven't gotten 100% clear on what you really need, you'll end up hiring people who don't fit and can't deliver. This person had these people in their business for years, which cost them untold amounts of expense, unearned revenue, and a lot of frustration. The founder was stuck in the weeds and constantly stressed about money for years. Most founders skip this step because they think it'll take too much time. It doesn't have to. Check the link in the description box for the free resource I use at the beginning of every hiring process. Mistake number three, writing job descriptions that don't attract. Another founder tried hiring through a recruiting agency but was fed up with the poor quality of candidates they got. When I looked over the job description they'd been using, I immediately knew why. It wasn't tailored to attract rockstar candidates. It was an old school, boilerplate job description. There was nothing about why someone would want to work there. No mention of company culture, no hint at growth opportunities, and not a single line that would catch a top candidate's eye. Great candidates aren't just looking for a paycheck. They're looking for purpose, autonomy, and a place they'll enjoy working. You don't have to focus on standard benefits like medical insurance. You can still highlight what makes working with you appealing. Is it flexible, fully remote? Do you give a lot of ownership? Do you value collaboration? Paint that picture. If your job description only talks about what you want and says nothing about what they get, you'll keep attracting the wrong people, or none at all. Mistake number four, winging it with your application process. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw an account post about needing a virtual assistant. They asked people to email in if they were interested. Within a few hours, they posted again. They'd shut down the search because their inbox had exploded and they had no idea how to sort through it all. When you use an unstructured format to collect applications, you'll have an experience exactly like this. Not only were they overwhelmed with the sheer number of applications, but it was mixed in with all of their other emails, and everyone sent in different material. Some shared resumes, some shared long personal details about why this role would mean so much to them, etc. It's exhausting and it makes it easy to miss the best people. Here's how to fix it. First, use a tool to collect applications. A simple Google form works, but I have something even better. Check the description box to learn more about my go-to tool that makes this ridiculously easy. Second, ask the right questions. Application questions give you consistent info across candidates and help you quickly spot who's worth your time. It's the first filter in finding a great hire. Mistake number five, ghosting candidates or moving slowly. A client of mine had 2 stellar candidates, and they were really excited about one person in particular. However, they kept putting off reaching out to them. When they finally did, the candidate had already taken a role with another company, partially because they had not heard back from my client. Great candidates won't wait around. If you disappear or move too slowly, they'll assume you're not interested and take another opportunity. The tricky part to this is keeping up with communication while juggling everything else in your business. It can be overwhelming, especially if you get a lot of applications. That's why I recommend using a simple tool to streamline candidate emails. The tool linked in the description box automates this process for you. Mistake number six, running unstructured, inconsistent interviews. A client once told me they just went with their gut during interviews. No notes, no plan, just a conversation and a feeling. They ended up hiring someone they really liked, but who completely bombed the role. Interviews aren't just about connection, they're about evaluation. To make them work for you, you need a clear structure. Here's what that looks like. First, ask the same questions across interviews. This lets you compare candidates fairly and keeps bias in check. Second, watch the clock. Some candidates will be chatty, but it's important to keep to the stated time frame not only for your sake, but also to show candidates that you can respect time commitments. Third, leave time for their questions. Their questions will give you insight into how they think, and they will likely want more information that wasn't listed on the job description. Fourth, stick to a structure, especially when you like them. Just because you click with someone doesn't mean they're the best fit. A consistent process protects you from making a charisma based hire that doesn't work out. Interviews are a core tool in the hiring process. They help you continue to weed out the wrong candidates and push along the right ones. Mistake number 7, ignoring employment laws. I'm not an employment attorney, so this isn't legal advice, but I do want to flag a few things you absolutely need to be aware of when hiring. Overlooking employment laws can lead to serious consequences, especially as regulations continue to evolve. Some key areas to research. First, 1099 versus W-2 classification. Misclassifying someone can lead to fines or penalties. Make sure you understand the difference and when each applies. Second, state-specific laws. States like California have much stricter requirements around hiring and classification. Don't assume what works in one state works everywhere. Third, compensation transparency. More states now require pay ranges to be listed on job postings. If you skip this, you could face compliance issues. When in doubt, consult an expert. Mistake number 8, neglecting onboarding. You've finally found a rock star. Congratulations. But now what? If you skip onboarding or throw them in the deep end without a plan, they'll flounder fast. And you'll find yourself thinking, why aren't they moving as quickly as I expected? Even the best hires need context, direction, and support. Here's what to prepare before their first day. First, tool access. Make sure they have logins and permissions for everything they need. Second, company context. Share how the business runs, what you value, and how decisions are made. Third, clear how-tos. Show them how to do their core responsibilities step by step. Fourth, first week and first month tasks. Give them early wins to build confidence and momentum. Plus, these are quick wins for you too. Fifth, regular check-ins. Be available. Early feedback and support sets the tone for everything that follows. Pro tip, record Loom videos of yourself doing the tasks. Have your new hire turn those into written SOPs. You delegate, they take ownership, and the process gets documented. Win, win, win. Ready to finally hire the right person without the stress? I've pulled everything together to guide you through it step by step, so you can hire with clarity and confidence. And I've included automated tools, templates, and more to make it super easy for you. Check the description box to get started.